You get the invitation, and you see two words that immediately raise questions. Cocktail attire. What does that actually mean? Do I wear a full suit? Is a tie required? Can I wear jeans if they're dark enough? What shoes are acceptable? And if you're over 40, those questions start to matter even more. Because here's the truth. When you walk into a room dressed wrong, people notice. And when you're dressed right, they remember you. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to dress for cocktail events like a true gentleman. Not like a try-hard, not like you're going to the club, and definitely not like you just left the office. Let's break it down. Chapter 1. Understand what cocktail attire actually means. Let's start by clearing up the confusion. Cocktail attire isn't black tie, it's not business casual, it's also not casual smart or whatever looks nice. It sits in a very specific zone, right between formal wear and relaxed elegance. It's where tailoring meets personality, where Polish meets comfort, where you don't look like you're heading to court, but you also don't look like you're running errands. Cocktail attire is what you wear when you want to look like a man who takes care of himself, who understands occasion, and who knows how to look sharp without being stiff. For men over 40, this is one of the best dress codes to master, because it rewards maturity, confidence, and a more refined approach to style. You don't need to compete with the younger crowd, you just need to outclass them. So here's the foundation. You're not wearing a tuxedo, you're not wearing jeans, you're not wearing sneakers. You are wearing tailored clothing, elevated footwear, and a look that says, I came prepared, but I'm here to enjoy myself. Think elegant dinner parties, upscale weddings, rooftop receptions, evening galas that aren't black tie. That's cocktail attire. The fit has to be precise, the fabrics need to breathe well, and every detail from the collar to the shoes should feel like it was chosen with intention. This is not the time for lazy mistakes. This is your time to show you still have it. In fact, you have it more than ever. Chapter 2. Start with the jacket. It's non-negotiable. Let's get this straight. If you're showing up to a cocktail event without a blazer, you're already underdressed. This is not up for debate. The blazer or sport coat is the backbone of cocktail attire. It frames your body, defines your shoulders, sharpens your silhouette, and sets the tone for everything else you wear. But here's where it gets tricky. Not all blazers are created equal. A blazer that's too big makes you look sloppy. Too tight? You look like you're borrowing it. Wrong fabric? Suddenly it feels like a school uniform. Cheap looking or shiny. You've just aged yourself 10 years. So here's what to do instead. Go for a modern, tailored blazer in a dark neutral, navy, charcoal, midnight blue, or even a deep muted burgundy if the event calls for a little flair. Avoid black unless the event is very formal. Black blazers at cocktail events can feel too harsh, especially in daylight. Navy is more forgiving, charcoal is smoother, and colors like espresso or forest green give just enough personality without going loud. Now let's talk fit. This is crucial, especially over 40. Shoulder seams should sit right on the bone, not over, not behind. The waist should taper slightly, not squeeze. Sleeves should show about a 1/4 inch of shirt cuff, and the jacket should fall mid-hip, not lower. The lapels? Go with a classic notch or a soft peak lapel. Avoid anything too thin. Super skinny lapels were for guys in their 20s trying to be edgy. You're not chasing trends, you're setting standards. And as for materials, wool is always a safe bet. For warmer months, unstructured cotton or linen blends work beautifully. Just make sure the fabric has texture, a slight weave, a matte finish. Avoid shiny synthetics or anything that looks like it belongs at a budget prom. One final thing. Never wear a blazer with visible elbow patches. I know it sounds old school, but it looks old school, and not in a good way. A sharp blazer over 40 says, I've evolved, not I peaked in the 90s. Chapter 3. Choose the right shirt, skip the office uniform. Now, once you've nailed the jacket, it's time to build the base layer. And this is where most guys fall into a trap. They throw on their default work shirt. The same one they wear to meetings, the one that's slightly wrinkled, or stiff, or made from that shiny blend that's supposed to be non-iron. But here's the thing, that shirt was made to blend in, not to stand out. And cocktail attire is all about standing out, quietly. So ditch the corporate shirt, and upgrade to something more refined. Start with color. You can never go wrong with white, but you don't have to stick to it. A soft ice blue, a light gray, or even a textured pale pink can work beautifully under a dark blazer. These colors add depth. They work better with aging skin tones. And they separate you from the crowd of guys who default to boring white just because it's easy. Collar style? Go with a medium spread. Something that works with or without a tie. Button-down collars are too casual for cocktail settings, and skinny collars look juvenile. Fabric matters too. Look for high-quality cotton, poplin, Oxford, twill, or for added personality, try a shirt with subtle texture, like a micro check or a fine herringbone. And please make sure the shirt fits. No ballooning at the sides, no pulling at the buttons, no sagging sleeves. You want the shirt to glide across your frame, not fight it. Tuck it in, always. A tucked shirt says tailored. An untucked shirt at a cocktail event says, I didn't know what this was. Want to level up even further? Add a soft pressed collar stay, iron your cuffs, and hit it with a steamer before you walk out the door. And yes, some of the exact shirts I personally recommend for this look are linked in the description below. These are timeless, versatile, and perfect for any cocktail event you attend this year. Chapter 4. Trousers, not jeans, never shorts. Let me say it loud for the men in the back. If the invitation says cocktail attire, you are not wearing jeans. I don't care how expensive they are. I don't care how dark they are. I don't care if they've got a crease down the front. If they're denim, they're not appropriate. Cocktail events are elevated. That means your pants need to match that level of class. And nothing kills an otherwise great outfit like lazy leg wear. So here's the move. You want tailored dress trousers or high-quality chinos with a clean silhouette, flat front or single pleat, slim or straight cut, and zero break or just a slight break at the hem. These pants should support your jacket, not fight it. They should drape clean down the leg, no bunching, no pooling, no sagging at the back of the shoes. What you're aiming for is elegance, quiet elegance. Let's talk color. If your blazer is navy, try charcoal or light gray trousers. If you're wearing charcoal or black up top, match it with dark espresso, mid-gray, or even deep olive if you want a bit of contrast. And for summer cocktail events, cream or sand-colored trousers are a game changer. Just make sure the fabric is breathable. Cotton linen blends work wonders in heat without looking too relaxed. Now fit. If you've got trousers from 10 years ago that still fit your waist, but balloon out at the thighs or hips, that's not a win. That's a trap. Your trousers should be updated to fit the body you have now. That means checking the rise, the taper, and the drape from hip to ankle, not just the waist. And please, no cargo pockets, no drawstrings, no jogger-style ankles. Save that for airport loungewear. This is cocktail dressing. You're here to impress. If you're unsure where to start, I've listed some of my go-to dress trousers and elevated chinos down in the description. I've worn them myself to everything from art gallery openings to rooftop events. They're sharp, reliable, and built for men who care about the details. Chapter 5. Skip the loud ties, or skip the tie altogether. This one depends a bit on the tone of the event, but there's a rule I've learned over time, and it rarely fails. If you're not sure whether to wear a tie, always lean towards subtle if you wear one, or skip it completely if your outfit already has structure. Let me explain. Loud ties, bright colors, fat Windsor knots, novelty prints. That stuff, it instantly ages your look, especially if the rest of your outfit is neutral or mature. A loud tie pulls all the attention to your chest and makes people feel like you're trying too hard. So if you do choose to wear a tie, make it intentional. Go for a textured silk, a matte wool blend, a knit tie with a flat end. Solid colors like navy, burgundy, deep green, or charcoal always work. If you want a pattern, keep it low-key. Think tone on tone. A soft check, a tiny dot, a diagonal bar. Now let's talk skipping the tie. If you've got a solid blazer, a well-pressed dress shirt, and sharp trousers, you can absolutely go without a tie and still look cocktail appropriate. But here's the trick. Everything else has to be perfect. The collar of your shirt needs structure. It can't be floppy. You need a clean neck area, either freshly shaved or a trimmed beard. You need posture, presence, and polish. Because when you wear a suit or blazer without a tie, you're leaning on body language and outfit balance. So make sure your grooming and accessories are supporting you. One more thing. If you skip the tie, skip the undershirt. Or wear a deep V. You don't want to unbutton the top 2 buttons and reveal a ribbed tank. That's not suave, that's confused. South to tie or not to tie? The answer depends on the event, but if you do wear one, keep it classic. Keep it textured. Keep it quiet. You're not trying to impress people with a pattern. You're impressing them with poise. Chapter 6. The right shoes can make or break this look. I've said it before and I'll keep saying it. The first thing people notice when you walk into a room, your shoes. And with cocktail attire, your shoes send a message. Loud and clear. So let me make this simple. Sneakers are off the table. I don't care how expensive they are. I don't care if they're common projects. I don't care if they're all black and look kind of dressy. If it has a rubber sole and was designed for comfort first, it's not cocktail appropriate. Neither are hiking boots, work shoes, slip-ons with logos, or beat-up loafers with flattened heels. What you want instead is elegance, simplicity, and craftsmanship. My top 3 picks for cocktail shoes: leather loafers, think penny loafers, Belgian loafers, or sleek horsebit styles. Black or brown, preferably with a slightly elongated toe and no chunky sole. Cap-toe Oxfords or Darbys, polished, structured, and versatile. If the event leans more formal, these are your safest choice. Suede shoes in dark brown, charcoal, or navy. Suede adds texture, softness, and maturity without screaming for attention. And remember, your shoes should match your belt. Or even better, skip the belt if your trousers fit well enough. It cleans up the silhouette and looks more modern. Now, let's not forget socks. This is where some guys completely mess up a polished look. No white gym socks, no loud novelty prints. Keep it dark. Charcoal, navy, deep brown, or black, with subtle patterns like ribbing or micro dots if you want just a touch of interest. And here's a bonus detail most men ignore. Condition your shoes. If your leather is cracked, dull, or dirty, people will notice. Take the time to clean and polish them before every event. It's 5 minutes of effort that shows you care. A man over 40 doesn't show up in what's easy. He shows up in what's earned. I've included a few of my favorite cocktail-ready shoes in the description. These are timeless, built to last, and they'll elevate your outfit instantly without needing anything flashy. Chapter 7. Add just one statement piece. This is where style becomes personal, and where a gentleman stands apart from the crowd, not because he's louder, but because he's more intentional. A lot of men, especially over 40, make one of two mistakes here. Either they go too safe and look bland, or they go too bold and ruin a perfectly elegant look with a tie that's screaming, a pocket square that looks like origami, and jewelry that could set off a metal detector. What you want to do instead is pick just one statement piece. One thing that draws the eye, one thing that says, yes, I paid attention to the details. Let's walk through a few examples. Your statement could be a watch, maybe it's vintage, maybe it's minimalist, maybe it has a brushed steel case with a brown leather strap that contrasts perfectly with your navy blazer. It doesn't have to be expensive, it just has to be deliberate. Or maybe it's your pocket square. Not a loud floral print, but something with depth, a rich burgundy, a subtle geometric, folded clean, presidential or puff. Don't overthink the fold. Just make sure it's placed with care. Maybe it's your shoes. A well-polished oxblood loafer with sleek lines. People will notice when your footwear is confident, but doesn't scream for approval. You could even use fabric as your standout move. A blazer in a soft flannel. A shirt with a subtle herringbone. Texture is a quiet flex, and it's something younger guys almost never think about. The key here is balance. If you're wearing a textured blazer, keep everything else simple. If you've got a standout watch, don't pair it with a flashy belt and cufflinks. Pick one. Own it. The goal isn't to be remembered for one bold item. The goal is to be remembered as the man who looked the most put together, because everything felt considered. And the beauty of this approach? It's timeless. 5 years from now, your outfit won't look like a trend you were trying to follow. It'll still hold up, because it was rooted in style, not noise. Chapter 8. Dress for the room, not just the code. Here's where real style comes in. Most guys see cocktail attire on the invite and assume it means one outfit fits all. But a gentleman knows better, because context changes everything. A winter rooftop event? That calls for darker tones, heavier fabrics. Think navy or charcoal wool, a crisp shirt, structured shoes, but a summer cocktail hour on a patio or vineyard. Different rules. That's where you lean into lighter fabrics. Cotton blends, linen, soft neutrals like stone or sand. Maybe skip the tie. Loafers with no-show socks. Relaxed but still refined. Time of day plays a role too. Evening leans formal. Darker colors, stronger silhouettes. Daytime allows for lighter tones, open collars, softer lines. And the crowd matters. If you know it's a stylish host or a professional crowd, bring your A game. You won't regret it. But even at a laid-back event, there's a way to look easygoing without being sloppy. The truth is, dressing well isn't about rigid rules. It's about reading the room and showing up in a way that fits and stands out. And if you're ever unsure, here's my advice. Go slightly more elevated than you think you need to. You'll never regret being the best-dressed man there. Down in the description, I've linked some of my most versatile cocktail-ready staples. These are the pieces I trust when I need to adapt to any setting, and still look like I planned it perfectly. Cocktail attire is about presence, not flash. When you get it right, you don't just look good, you look like you belong. I've linked my go-to jackets, shirts, trousers, and shoes down in the description. They're a bit more of an investment, but that's what makes them worth it. Because after 40, style isn't about having more, it's about having better. And these pieces? They'll do more than upgrade your wardrobe. They'll upgrade how you show up,